But when I done this, it was like that. His body understood what to do instantly. Primal specialises in guys over 40. Doesn't mean we haven't got women, doesn't mean we haven't got men younger than that, but our primary target market is men over 40. And recently, over the last year or two, we've been getting more and more guys beyond 40, in their late 50s, and now we've got guys in their 60s. And the older we get, and the later we start in training, the more imbalances and mobility issues we're going to encounter. And I love that because it forces me to step my game up and figure out ways of getting guys to understand the movement I'm trying to ask them to do. Because we've spent maybe 40 or 50 years doing something a certain way. So the nervous system understands this pathway, this neural pathway of doing the movement. And then asking it to do something completely different, contract the muscles in a different way, can cause confusion within the nervous system. And it takes a time to get guys moving right. Now, when you're doing something like a deadlift, for example, and I'm asking you to hinge, maybe you can get this bit, but because you're so focused, all your energy and attention's on this, you can tend to forget about the upper back, and this can start happening. And I encountered this yesterday with a new guy who came in the gym, who's got a kyphotic spine, he's rounded. He's just spent a lot of years like this. So getting him to understand this and this is pretty hard. Now, we're not deadlifting with this guy. We're just trying to teach him the movement to get the hinge pattern and get the retraction in the shoulder blades. And I'll be honest, I was struggling, and I appreciated him because he forced me to think outside the box and come up with something that could help him understand the movements. And when I came up with this, I'm not saying I came up with this, well, I did, but I'm sure someone else has thought of it somewhere else. I didn't see it, I just came up with it in my own head. But when I done this, it was like that. His body understood what to do instantly, and he was doing the hinge pattern perfectly. So I thought I would share it because I'm sure there's loads of other guys out there or trainers who are struggling with the similar type of experience. And this setup here is just for me so you can see it better in two different angles. What I done was I got a very light band. Okay, it was very important to get a light band because his shoulder blades haven't got that much strength in them to retract. So anything over this probably would have been too much for his muscles and he wouldn't have been able to get the movement. Remember, it's about getting the end range and allowing his nervous system to recognize what it is you want it to do without the stress of having to strain to hold it, okay? We're trying to get a movement into his head, so we want to make it as easy as possible. The main things I encountered with him was when he was trying to hinge, his knees would go forward and go into a squat, and when he would get the hinge right, he would round his back. How did I counter that? A bench with his shins against the bench, okay, just below the knees. Now when I asked him to push his knees forward, the bench lifted. So then he was aware of that. So I was like, okay, I want you to get your butt to go backwards without doing this. So I said, feel the pressure against the bench and then use that energy to direct your hips backwards. Now he had instant proprioception, instant feedback to that movement. Now, unfortunately, when I was doing this, when he's got this started to happen. And he started around his spine. This was the one that stumped me. But then I remembered this wee drill. So, hands at a 90-degree angle, elbows at your sides, as if there's a pin through your elbow, right through your side and out the other end, so you can't lift your elbows out. And I asked them to just simply pull the band apart, like so, and hold. Then I got him to go here. And within one rep, he was doing it perfect. So from this angle, he was here, he pulled apart, he hinged back. I used this band as a guide. If it touched your leg, that was up. I asked him not to do a bicep curl, just to hold a 90-degree angle at the elbows, hinge back, and stand back up, hinge back, and stand back up. Why do I like this drill? Well, his shoulder blades need to learn how to retract properly. So this was giving them time under tension, an isometric hold for say 5 reps, which is probably going to put him into a 20 to 25 second isometric contraction of the shoulder blades. And we're reinforcing the hinge pattern. For me, this is a game changer. I will now apply this to so many guys I'm coaching. And I promise, I've got a real belief that if you apply it to men and women you're struggling with, or maybe it's yourself, if you just do this, that movement pattern is going to start getting more and more cemented into your brain, and you will start understanding this retracted state and hinging back, because you can't round your back when you're retracted. Well, you can, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. So give that a go, and I'd really appreciate if you could give me any feedback if you give it a go. Cheers.